The following podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up now using the URL audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choosing. We recommend Brick by Brick, How Lego Rewrote the Rules of Innovation and Conquered the Global Toy Industry. You may recognize this as one of the sources we use in our show, Bionicle Autopsy. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/TTV. Enjoy the show. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to TTV episode 153.
Mardi Gras.
Thank you.
You were so close! You just had to wait 1 second!
I'm getting a deja vu.
TTV 153.
Mardi Gras.
Come on, TTV
Actually, Mardi Gras,
153.
also deja vu. Dude, just if you had just said it before!
We're gonna go through that
Marty
period of time.
McFly.
I already
Oh
made
my
that
gosh.
joke. That's my joke.
Okay, Marty O'Donnell.
If you like Mardi Gras, go buy a Mardi Gras shirt at TTVstore.tvpodcast.com.
I was about to
Yeah,
say
we actually haven't. I don't think everyone knows this, but we actually unveiled 2 new shirt designs at Makuta Fest this year. So we've got 2 new shirts: the Mardi Gras shirt that features a nice, lovely drawing by Vin with both me and Meso on the cover, and we also have an Alter Cannon T-shirt, which is the time-traveling Muwako joke. If you're a fan of Minog with Meso, I'm sure you know what that joke is all about. If not, look up a compilation of Minog with Meso that a fan made. It's really good.
Shout out to you, Uni and
we didn't have an
do that
announcement
because I
video
never
this time
watched
because we
Monog
didn't
with
want
Mesa.
everyone angry at us again.
I know, last time we made an announcement, everyone was so mad.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, I have an announcement. I'm retracting that announcement. No one will be
Alright,
mad at
cool.
me.
Good call.
Awesome. Nice job,
Alright.
LJ. Also, be sure to check us out on vessel.com/TTV, or the TTV channel, actually, and you can catch this podcast, episode 152, as it airs, when it's released, on time, no delay. There's a week delay if you're watching on YouTube. So if you're watching this episode on YouTube right now, you are probably behind. If you don't care about that, that's fine. You can keep watching us on YouTube. If you do care about being up to date on our podcast, be sure to subscribe to us on Vessel.
Exactly.
And it's free.
Hooray.
The podcast is free. The podcast is free. The podcast is free.
It is free.
You don't need a debit card or anything to sign up for a Vessel account.
Yeah.
Alright, let's
Learn
get
to
this going.
read.
Guys, we don't all need to say the same thing.
Yes,
5
we do.
times.
Alright,
Guys,
so
we don't all
just,
need to say the
make
same
sure to
thing
go to
5
Vessel and... I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Alright.
Alright, so, that
Anyway.
out of the way.
Yeah, let's go ahead and introduce this amazing show we have here.
Oh, hold up, I got a knock on the door. I think I know what that is.
Oh, come on, Ben.
Jesus Christ, man.
Okay, so we'll just fill time. So, how's it going, guys?
Again?
No, let's go without him. He
Or
screwed
why
up
can't we just announce our names first before Vin leaves, and then he can go and get his package?
Okay, fine.
'cause he already
I'm
left.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Restrained.
What the heck?
Restrained.
I restrained myself. I stopped.
I
Okay.
think you do need to cut his pay.
What? The
LJ, no one knows that joke anymore. because we had to
Alright,
restart.
man. I'm here.
Are you serious? You couldn't wait to just say your name and then go get your stupid package?
Hey, I waited for you guys to do the name thing, then you're like,
Oh, come on! You did not wait! You were gone!
No, I waited.
Okay, let's
waited.
stop. Let's stop
You
fighting.
know how long I waited?
Like 5 seconds!
I'm Messinac.
I'm Barteran.
I'm LJ.
I'm Venom.
I'm Takuma Nuva.
And this is TTV
Where'd it go?
153. Come on! So I'll say this straight up. This will be one of the most jam-packed, non-stop Bionicle discussion-filled episodes that we've had in quite a while. So for those of you that have been clamoring for that, hooray!
I'm not happy, because I prefer our episodes where we have less Bionicle discussion.
Yeah, well.
And
yeah,
so do our
it is-
true fans.
It is what it is.
Whoa.
Our true fans.
But before we get
Start
into the
something.
meat of it, I would just like to say that, because I haven't talked about this
I
yet,
like
this is the
meat.
first podcast after Makuta Fest. So, at Makuta Fest, I ranted and raved about how I did not like the SDCC mask, the transparent neon green Skull Scorpio mask.
Which we didn't report on, by the way. Sorry about that.
Half an hour after Makuta Fest, I bought one.
I bought one as well.
Yeah, and then like
So
a
did
day after they bought
I don't
one,
have money.
I bought one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as it stands, all 4 of us have the SDCC mask.
Minus
and Takuma
Takuma.
doesn't.
As of this second, I actually...
That's so
Just
minus
got it.
Takuma. I said all 4 of us.
Yeah, whatever.
If you're minusing
Oh
Takuma,
my
there's 3,
gosh.
but there's 4 of us.
There's 5.
Yeah, no, it's
Call.
cool.
I intentionally excluded Takuma from the initial 4.
Yeah, I got that. The mask.
Yeah, well, you're stupid.
The mask is pretty cool, but it's a little small. It's very small.
It is very small.
You guys are allowed to
tiny.
give me a few seconds before I can comment on it because I'm opening the package right now.
Oh, that's what you got.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I assumed as
that
much.
Yeah, no, let's still be angry at him, but yeah.
I will say something. I
That is really interesting. It's like a live opening.
Skull
Yep, it's
Scorpio's
happening right
mask is the same as Skull Basher's, and Skull Basher fights Onua, and the size and shape and proportions of this mask are very similar to the Bakari Mask of Earth, because
Oh,
it's
really?
like wide at the center and it's narrow at the top and bottom.
So I have to imagine that you're like schizophrenic. And like you're just imagining car sounds. like what if he just goes on for the rest of his life in conversations with people. He's like, oh yeah, so last night I had this really cool dream, stupid car, and it was really cool. I had a cheeseburger and fries, and it was delicious. And then stupid car. And I got my nice sweet tea, stupid car. And then
Silly Var,
Yeah,
I would
may-
dream
maybe
about
Meso's part of
cheeseburgers.
it.
I've never had one.
Well, yeah, wow.
I know that's
What
why it was a dream.
All right.
What if
I'm now holding the
Meso's
mask
part?
in my hand.
Then we're trying to have a discussion.
Man, this
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
small mask.
It is very
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, it is.
Alja, just say what you were going to say.
What if Meso is part of a government experiment to try and
Interruption.
induce a sort of kind of mental psychosis regarding the sound that vehicles make?
I have no clue what you just
I
said,
should
so
have
I'm
known
going
it
to
was,
continue on.
it was a bad idea to let you talk.
Yeah, it really was. I instantly
I gave
regretted
you
it
guys
as
a
soon as you
chance,
started.
man, to just let me keep talking, but no.
I mean, it's okay because everyone's just going to confuse you with Meso.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, then how's the mask? What do you think about it?
Oh my god, it's so small.
It is really small. Like I took it out and I was like, this looks really cool. And then I looked at my protector mask because I put it on the protector of a stone, and I was like, it looked cool because I don't have the Skull Scorpio set to put it on at the moment. And I was like, wow, this mask is tiny.
Actually, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna go grab my
I
protector
put
of
it on
stone.
Pohatu.
Or, I mean, not protector of stone. Nilku.
Nilku.
Nilku, yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that name. Say it again. No.
it's Nilku.
Milky Way.
Milky Way. Milky Way.
I
It's the
prefer
Nilky
What I
Way.
did was, I've been experimenting with a new horn design, so I stuck my mask on Pohatu and I gave him black horns. And that's currently what I have.
All right. Okay.
Wow.
It's kind of
That's
stupid,
cool,
though,
Meso.
for me to experiment because this mask is very different in dimensions than the Skull Grinder mask, so it's all wasted time. But,
Yeah, it kind of is. But
so be it.
I mean, at least it's not like it doesn't have like a giant chin like in the animations. Have we discussed that in the podcast yet?
I don't think we've discussed the animation yet.
My God, we've got so much Bionicle stuff we haven't talked about yet.
Cultist
well,
got a
actually-
crazy looking chin.
Yeah.
Colta does. Here, well, let's try to organize this a little bit better. What do we want to talk about? We mentioned
A lot.
Nilku. We
What I
mentioned
would
the
like to
mask.
talk about first is what has been going on very recently with the book controversy. And then we
Okay,
can
yeah.
kind of
Let's
segue
get
into
that
the
out of the
info
way.
from the book.
Well, listen, it's not really much of a controversy as much as it is just a thing that happened, and we wanted to address it. So,
Kind of, yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
So, like, basically what the deal was, the Island of Lost Masks on Amazon, the first book coming out next month, got a preview. And how previews on Amazon are supposed to work is you click look inside this book and you get a sample selection of pages from the book you can read. And then if you sign into your Amazon account, you can read a few more. Well, what Amazon did, they randomized the pages that were selected for preview. So, like, there was an initial group of pages that everybody got, and then if people signed in, they could get wildly different stuff. And what Amazon did not account for was the fact that there's a rabid fan community for Bionicle that would then proceed to try to gather all the pages possible and stitch them together into galleries, and basically we have not the whole book at this point, but pretty much all the important stuff that people care about.
We have basically the whole book. We have
the beginning, we have the middle, and we have the end. All we don't have is the filler.
A few pages in between. Like you can read what people were able to compile out of the preview images, and then get the gist of the entire story without needing to buy the book, which is a little unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate.
I would like to say that initially I had assumed that it was Amazon's fault, but I actually looked into the policies of the look inside thing that they have for the book. It's actually up to the publisher to choose the pages that are previewed, and the way it works is that they can either choose like specific pages that they want to be previewed, or they can choose key phrases that they want to be previewed. So any book or any page that has that phrase is added to like the preview roster, which is, I'm assuming, what happened.
Wow.
So it was either Scholastic's fault or someone at Lego or whatever, but regardless, it wasn't Amazon. That was something that whoever put the book listing on Amazon was, meant to do. So it wasn't Amazon itself. That's just the platform where it's being distributed.
Interesting.
BIONICLE just can't catch a break.
It can't catch a break. But
BIONICLE 2015 is so prone to leaks.
Unfortunately, yes. So a lot of pages got out. The majority of the book got out, I would say.
The actual ending of the book got out.
Yeah, from the very final line of the book, that's all out there. And there was a lot of people on our message boards that were compiling the pages that they got, because every person had a different set of pages. So if you went onto the look inside thing on the preview, it was specific to your account. So you would get a different set of pages compared to someone else that would go over there. So what everyone on the message boards did was that they would screenshot their pages and then post that in the topic, and then someone put it all in one gallery, and you could basically read the entire book in the gallery. It got to a point where it was wow, this is a bit more than I thought was going to end up happening, so I had to close the topic because I was afraid, oh no, we don't want to spoil the entire book.
Yeah.
Also it said copyrighted material at the bottom of the page, and I was like, it doesn't seem like a good sign.
Yeah,
it's having a confidential marking on leaked images. It's not good.
Yeah, this stuff that's happening is illegal.
Yeah, Lego has a definite policy against confidential markings, so if there's an image with confidential markings on it, they will take it down if they can get the chance. So I'm assuming it's the same for this. Also, reprinting or reproduction of a novel is absolutely illegal in any way, shape, or form. No matter what you do, if you're reprinting pages or redistributing it on any other source without an official
allowance, permission slip,
any official permission or anything, then it is absolutely illegal. And it
doesn't matter if it's for free or not.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's public domain, quote unquote, or not either. Even if it's free and you can read it for free on a certain platform, that platform had to get permission to make it free. You can't just go on that platform and take it off of that and then put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Copyright laws are a thing.
And while at the time I closed the topic, I still wasn't sure about the official word on that or not. I did actually look into the book. The very, very first page of the preview for the book says, "No part of this publication may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording, or otherwise, without written permission from the publisher."
Which apparently everyone missed.
So someone at Scholastic. So you would have to actually message Scholastic and get permission to screenshot this and put it somewhere. So this is illegal.
Yeah.
And even if you don't care about the law, at least take into account that this would hurt Lego's sales if everybody just got to read the book for free.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
This is the BIONICLE community mindset. We discuss leaks, we discuss info, but I don't think people are making the corollary between, you can discuss leaked set images all day, every day for months, and you can still go buy the set because it's a physical item.
Right, the images aren't the product.
You read the book, and that's gone.
Yeah, the story is the product for the book. So if you read the story for free, that you just stole the product. If you look at images of a product, that's different.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, like, because I know we are going to buy the books regardless.
Absolutely.
I already pre-ordered it.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it as well. So it's like, it's already part, like, not only do we want to do it, but it's kind of part of our job, per se, to buy these books. We're going to get the book, we're going to read it, we're going to discuss it. So, no matter what happens, we're going to buy it. However, I mean, there's a lot of younger people in the community that don't have disposable income, don't have money that they can just throw away. So, I know me as a kid, I used to pirate things all the time. I'm not going to deny it.
I still do.
Like, if sigh.
Wow.
Don't pirate things, kids.
Don't pirate things.
Or
anyway,
animals.
I know from my perspective at least, that as a kid without money to just spend or throw away, if I can get something for free, I'm going to do it. So, it's the reality of the situation. If this book is going to be distributed around for free, it's likely that the people who are going to read it will probably end up not buying the book. And that's unfortunately going to hurt Bionicle and Lego, and that's a shame. Yeah. So we wanted to make sure that we took that off of our boards.
The best way possible to make the situation the best way possible to make the situation right is by buying the book.
Yeah.
If you were like any of the people involved in compiling the pages, it's okay. I don't think Amazon's gonna or Lego's gonna press charges against you. But
I mean, it's not like they can do anything. It was their mistake.
Yeah, it was their fault. It's not like you're a criminal who's like stealing pages, but you gotta understand that it's a little bit different situation than what we're used to, and the book is exactly what we've needed for Bionicle since Word Go. So it would help a lot if we all, and like we're a small fraction of the community, our sales probably won't make an impact in the bigger picture, but we still need to do our part. It's a small cost. It's not
everything.
A lot of money.
That just makes it even more important, though. The fact that the sales for this would be such a smaller portion, if we're taking sales away from that, that just makes that already small portion even more insignificant.
Yeah.
So we need like as many, especially since the books are basically completely supplemental just for fans of the line. That's not for people who are just going to go out and buy toys.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something we want to support.
The best course of action going forward is to just buy the book when it comes out, which is like August 25th or the 26th.
25th.
It's only like $5. Yeah, it comes on the 25th, my birthday.
Yeah, it's only $5, and like you can get the Kindle version, so you can just have it on. You don't even need to wait for it to ship. So as soon as it's out, you can just.
Heck, that version's even less than $5, I think.
No, I think it's the same price.
Oh, okay. But yeah, this actually reminds me of a similar situation. Not exact, but very, very similar back in 2009. First Bionicle movie we had gotten since 2005.
Oh, I remember this.
The Legend Reborn, and it somehow, in DVD quality, leaks. And it starts becoming torrentable. It got to the point where Greg Farshty had addressed the entire situation, because it was going to, and I think it did affect sales for that film.
I know.
I
watched that pirated copy, and I didn't buy the movie, so I know it affected my sales at least.
Yeah,
I watched it, and I did buy the movie. So there's that.
But yeah, so I think thinking back on it, that may be a very large part as to why Bionicle did end up getting canned that very year. But then I realized they canceled it before the movie's release.
Yeah, that was a process that was long in development.
But yeah, this is a very similar situation that did affect sales, especially for a direct-to-consumer movie release. It didn't show up in many theaters. So, yeah, that's a very similar situation. Definitely, if you can, purchase it. I'm going to purchase it. We're going to do a book review.
Mm-hmm.
Quite right. And
Absolutely.
there is still some stuff that wasn't in the book, but, it's just a shame, like, the ending got leaked, and, the information's public domain at this point. Or, obviously, if we do ever decide to talk about it, we're going to mark it with a spoiler warning.
Yeah, I think we should...
still...
I think we should discuss, like, at least the first, like, what we got from the first, like, 16 pages.
I haven't read any of it.
Well...
That's gonna be a problem.
Names. You know the names.
Basically the names. Yeah, basically just the names and a few of the village information that we discussed in the news video. We can just talk about that a little bit more.
I didn't even
so we won't be discussing the ending until the book comes out.
No, we won't be discussing anything past that until the book is out.
I agree with that. Speaking of which, I guess that's as good as any. We've said our piece. You guys want to talk about the book some? The info we do have?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the names. Alright, everybody start naming the name of the protector of... LJ, what is the name of the protector of water?
Kavoda.
Thank you, Var. It's Kavoda.
Oh, dang it. Var, how dare you.
Quick, ask me another one, Var. Get ready.
Alright, Var, protector of stone.
Noku.
Alright, Meso, protector of ice.
Isotor.
Oh my gosh, Var, you're a monster.
Alright, Var, protector of jungle.
Vizuna.
Yeah, that's right. That took you a second, huh?
Well, you kind of got. I was thinking water because you said woo woo woo.
But he already did water.
I know, but like that, I can't control how my mind works sometimes.
Yeah, well, we can't control how Ven's mind works either.
Okay, LJ, protector of Earth.
Cargo?
Yeah,
no,
it's
wrong. It's Korgot.
Okay. Yeah, here's the thing. I'm gonna pronounce that Corgo. I think Corgo sounds cooler. Also, T's are silent all the time at the end of phrases like escargot and buffet. So I think Corgo sounds.
Not when you forgot something.
Agreed. Corgot sounds really dumb, so I'm gonna say it Corgo as well. If you get confused.
And this is gonna sound really offensive, but since the character is confirmed to be female, Corgo sounds a lot more fitting.
Agreed.
Am I gonna get flack
I just
for
think
that?
it sounds better. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. And then finally, the last one, Narmoto.
Why didn't I get asked one?
Because you said you didn't even read the book!
I said I didn't read the book! I didn't say I didn't know the names. Fine. I was talking about the names.
What about the
won't shut up about the names.
Villager?
Shut up. What about the kid?
Oh, yeah.
Bing Zach.
Var!
Good guy Bing Zach. Coming in to save the day.
Okay, so opinion on the names, guys. What do you guys think about them?
I like them.
They're very different from the names we used to get.
I will be very honest. I initially hated them, but they've grown on me, and I now really love them. Even Bing Zach.
Absolutely the same with me. When I first saw them, I was like, "Wow, these are really weird and confusing." I love them. And now that I've actually memorized them and associated them with like each protector, I'm like, "Yeah, these names are perfect. I love them." I actually really appreciate how unique they are compared to like what we had before, where they were basically the same name with like a different first letter. No comma, va comma.
Onua, Oniwa.
Onua, Onowa.
Wenua.
Don't get me started.
Wenua, yeah. They were so similar. I'm really happy with these names.
They remind me more of like the Metru Nui Matoran than they do the Mata Nui Matoran. They had like longer names.
Yeah.
Like Visola and Tehuti or whatever. So it's good stuff. The only one I'm not crazy on that has not grown on me is Isotor.
Sounds like it's the easiest to memorize.
Yeah, I like that one.
It's easy to memorize.
It sounds like Isotope.
It's like, how do I put this? It's like it's a name that would fit a villain or some dude out of a kid's bad fan fiction.
I don't know about that.
That's what it sounds like to me, like Isotor.
I don't know, dude. I think thinking about like
it could be Isotor.
It could be Isotor, but considering like what we have traditionally gotten for like ice themed characters, I don't know. I feel like Isotor, it kind of has like a harsh, like sort of stoic,
it's crisp
sounding to it. Yeah, crisp. That I would associate with an ice character. I think that's very fitting.
And, like, it's a positive and a negative, but it is the only one of the names to really kind of have elemental hearkening to it.
It sounds like
ice. The ice.
That's what makes
it so easy. And that's a positive because it does that, and it's also a negative because none of the others do that. So it's kind of weird. It's on like an island.
Yeah. I will say that everyone's hating on Bing Zach in the comments and stuff, and like Bing Zach's basically a meme now. I will say this though. Bing Zach was the one name I was able to remember right away without having to like think about it.
Very memorable.
It is definitely the most unique and memorable name.
Who knows? The G might be silent.
Bing Zach has started a fan club.
Bing Zach. I mean, Bing Zach doesn't sound that bad either.
Bing Zach sounds better.
Hey, All I know is that I'm going to be able to incorporate this into my Bionicle Friends crossover. So we're going to have Chandler Bingzack.
Yeah, I think Bingzack sounds a little silly but I don't know. I like it. I think it sounds fine. So
Bingzack is love. Bingzack is life.
I think the initial impression of these names is just kind of. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and I think that's where most of the negativity comes from, because we weren't expecting it, and we've already gotten used to, like, Protector of Stone, Protector of Water names.
Yeah, and, like, I'll just warn you, unless we, like, warn all the audience, I'm going to talk directly to you, which I know Var loves. If you ever get confused, just keep in mind, from here on out, we're all going to be trying to refer to them by their actual names. So get used to it, or else you'll get lost in the shuffle. This is Bionicle, we're truly back. At this point, everything else was just a soft release. This is Bionicle.
Oh boy!
People are saying like Bingzack may become the 7th Toa, and it'll be called Zakanuva.
Oh my gosh!
It's great.
I like it.
I want Takabinga.
Takabinga.
Takabingo.
Takabingo. Man, I don't know. Is Bingzack like in the book throughout the entirety? Because I didn't read that far ahead.
No, he's not.
Okay, so he's not like a main character then. He's kind of just there.
No.
Neither was Takua.
Nope.
No, I would say Takua was definitely a main character.
Yeah, Takua was a lot more.
I would say he was more prominent than the Toa were.
At times.
Yeah. But no, Bingzack only shows up. I think he goes away once Pohatu shows up.
Okay. That's not that bad then. So
I mean, he's around for a little bit after Pohatu shows up, but yeah.
Okay. So no, I think the names are really cool. I'm so happy we have names.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
really,
oh my god. You know what? Another thing that I want to address, because it's been ticking me off. The people in the comments that are like, man, it's about time. It's like LEGO finally realized that they need to show more love for Bionicle. What makes you think that this wasn't the plan the entire time?
Yeah.
We had a book being made for forever.
Last minute
they suddenly decided, okay, we're going to give them names. What?
We've already got it in printed.
We knew there was going to be a book.
We are 6 months into the year. We need names. It's like it's like the fans think that that they just went into Microsoft Word with the book and just replaced all of Protector of Fire with all the name, Narmoto.
Yeah,
I mean, technically we have no proof that's not what
we don't have any proof. But the thing is, like, we've already known that there has been a disconnect between the names of the actual canon story and the names of what they put on merchandise, like the box art and stuff. We know they've avoided using specialized terms to promote the line.
Yeah.
We know that they replaced Toa with Master for the boxes. We know this. So I don't see why it's like this impossible idea that the Protectors have always had names. They just decided not to put that on the box art because that would be too confusing. It seems incredibly logical. It seems like that would be the default thing to think, other than, they just came up with these names.
And that's kind of a ridiculous claim to make. Rather than say they just came up with these names, that's kind of a flawed argument. What people should be saying is, why did it take them so long to release the first book?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. That's a valid point.
But saying,
they finally realized that we need names, so they gave them names. That's not what happened. At least I don't think that's what happened, and I don't think there's a reason to believe that's what happened.
Well, I imagine, just like before, there had to be a whole legal process for approving the names, which takes who know how much time.
Though, I mean, it seems like that these names were... I think that might be another reason why these names are very odd compared to, like, our older names, was because these names aren't based off anything.
Yeah, I looked up Corgo earlier, right before we started the recording. I could not find anything unless it was this character.
Yeah, I think these are very unique, original names. I don't think because like the 2001 names were all based around the Maori language, and they were already names for things.
And then later on, we're getting Latin.
Yeah, I think someone said, like, because Kivoda is the protector of water, and I think someone mentioned how Voda actually means water in some language.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think Kolta was something in, I want to say Finnish, But
yeah, it was gold, I think.
Yep.
Which worked because he's after the Mask of Creation, which is gold.
Yeah, he's after gold, so it does make sense.
But yeah, I really like these names. I think they did a really great job with them. But I also think the community's reaction is the proof in the pudding that LEGO has the right idea in regards to marketing. Because everyone flipped out over them at the beginning, right before getting used to them. Just imagine how jarring it would be for someone to get into Bionicle, see those on canisters, go up to the parents and say, "Hey, I want Kivodo.
I want Bing Zack."
I know it's...
Listen, that's a great point, actually, because this reminds me about all,
I was already thinking it.
Yeah, I didn't this reminds me about all like the stories I've heard about how like grandparents will go to like GameStop trying to find that Mario game. Can we get that the Mario game? And that just reminds me, like, imagine like all the kids who are asking their parents, "Hey, can you get me the Protector of Stone?" And they're like, "Okay." They can easily go to a store, find the Protector of Stone. That's so easy to remember. Buy it for their kids. Versus, "Hey, Mom, can you get me Nilku?"
Can you go find me Pohatu? Okay, we're here looking for a potato.
The Master of Stone? Oh, Bionicle Master of Stone? Yeah, right there. Yeah. It's easier. It's simpler. This is
one of the smart things.
Well, they could have just done Nilku Protector of Stone.
They could have, and I've
still
honestly
puts the emphasis on the name instead of the title.
Yeah, and I think the only reason they did it for the Toa was because the Toa were recognizable.
Yeah, that is definite fan service to the older fans to say, "Hey, we're paying attention."
If they had the choice and they knew they could get away with it without completely upsetting the fans, they would have just titled it Master of Stone.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I believe very early leaks we got just said those, and then we later found out it was Pohatu Master Stone.
I think leak had the names.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
of course.
But no, I absolutely think they would have cut off the Toa names as well.
It's one of their intelligent design philosophies for this year. There's something for everybody. And like before now, we've all been like, well, they're kind of skimping away from the lore a little bit and broadening it. But now, if you're not super invested in the lore, you can get into Bionicle and you can have a great time. And if you are super invested in the lore, then there are sources for you to go to that have all that necessary info, and you can just have a ball with that. It's great. Exactly. It's multi-tiered. It's not exclusive.
And this is what I've been saying the entire time. People are... It's easy to say, "Oh, they're doing this wrong. Oh, they're not doing this right," when you have no insight at all behind the actual development process or what it takes to do marketing. Yeah, when you don't actually know their plan. It's easy to criticize.
And you know what? It's also a lot easier to criticize and critique and whatnot when you know so much more than, say, the average consumer, because we are in an interesting position. We are already very invested and very knowledgeable in Generation 1. We know so much about that. But I'm going to be quite frank. Despite how much I know and how easily I can memorize these kind of things, looking at those 6-7 names was incredibly imposing to me. Because it's 6-7 jarring new names that I now had to commit to memory and equate to a certain set. That was very imposing and very almost jarring to me. Imagine doing that for 10 years of story and content.
Mm-hmm. Try explaining Bionicle to like a friend of yours who's never even heard of it.
That's actually a question that's come to us several different times.
I just leave out all the names
to someone.
That should be a series. We should do that. We should all get like a friend of ours and just try to explain Bionicle to them.
Yeah,
that would be great.
That's
do we do it with or without the actual terminology, we could do that the jargon?
Whatever you think is easier.
Easier would be to leave out the jargon, but it could be more interesting if we have it all in there.
No, I think
the Toa are on Machanui, and they're trying to find the Kanohi because that's what the Taraga told them to do. This, so
I absolutely think we need to include that.
Yes.
It's like, this is the primary reason right now that we're seeing it right here, why it was not a continuation.
Yeah,
this is the reason laid out for you. They would have never been able to explain all that to like a new audience. They had to start fresh.
They've made it in a way that it's approachable, and I think it was a very, very smart decision. And it's a decision I've been trying to defend for the longest time.
Hey, you're not the only one.
Is it time?
And you know what? Yeah, I think it's time, because let's address the elephant in the room, Meso.
Battle Royale!
Let's address the elephant in the room, okay? Because you were one of the people who was like, they're doing this wrong, we don't have any story, we can't make an RPG of it just because they're just not doing this.
We can't make an RPG. I did say that, didn't I?
You did say that. Listen, the criticism regarding why it took so long, I think, is a valid point. I think that they could have absolutely done this a bit sooner. They didn't have to wait 6 months after the release to give us some story content.
BIOS Online, maybe? Some
other thing, like some kind of game or something that gave us just a little bit more to grasp onto, to know that there's actually something else out there, because they didn't give us any hints that anything else was coming other than, there's going to be a book at some point. So the wait was excruciating, and I think that they could have handled that a little bit better. With that said, all the stupid, silly arguments about, BIONICLE has no story, we're not going to get any story, the book is just going to be the animations retold. The proof is in the pudding, people.
Listen.
You need to be patient.
Listen.
We were trying to compare an entire year, 2001 to 2015, an entire year.
No, not even an entire year, half a year, dude.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We compared an entire year to only 6 months. Not even 6 months with half of these arguments were brought up.
Yeah,
like 3 months.
I thought you were going to say, like, the entire year compared to the past 10 years of BIONICLE.
No, that's not what I was saying. And it's just like, you people are ridiculous. You were expecting way too much out of the box. You're trying to say that this entire year is a failure because of a couple of months. We have an entire year where we can get story content. This isn't just, Wave 1 versus 2001. No, it's 2001 versus 2015. We haven't gotten to experience 2015.
Yeah, and now we're getting to.
And now we're finally getting to. And just in the first 20 pages, I already see plenty of potential in the new line.
Likewise. But listen. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've made a lot of, disconnected statements all across the podcasts, but there was one centralized thing that I said that Var actually took the liberty of direct quoting.
Oh, I took a few direct quotes.
Okay, I would like you to read some, if you would not mind, from our podcast history of things that I've said.
So, here's one. The fact of the matter is, this is said by Meso, the fact of the matter is, an RPG could have been made for 2001. An RPG cannot be based around 2015. That's really what it boils down to. Kai responded with, as we know it so far. Then I said, well, of course, because we had a full year of 2001. I'm so sick of this conversation. Can we wait until we have the book before we actually... Then, I was cut off. Meso, it's not going to change anything. Me, how would you know? You haven't seen it. Meso, I know with absolute certainty it's going to be the Toa bumming around on Okoto with their mask and having banter with their unnamed protectors.
Nice.
That statement's wrong.
I was happy.
LJ, do you know who is writing this book? Meso, Writer Windham, yes. He's a good author. I imagine he can convey the Skull Spider's inner turmoil very well, just like Merlin Mann. But it's not going to change the base.
Oh. Nice.
I bet... Wait, is this the next one?
I'm gonna be sick.
Takuma, get it back. Breathe.
I'll pause real quick. I got a few more quotes, but I'll pause. Let's discuss that.
Okay. So right out the gate, no sugarcoating it, I was wrong.
Absolutely.
I'm
say it that way is sugarcoating it.
I am very happy
sugarcoating
to
it would be,
admit it.
Meso, you were an idiot. You need to stop saying anything with absolute certainty. You just need to stop talking.
Takuma, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. First step to dealing with.
I doubt he's any benefit to us.
I have more to say, but I'm not going to respond to that quote. So all I will say is, I was wrong. The protectors did get names, and to be fair, I don't think any of us were necessarily expecting that particular development, but it's a welcome one nonetheless.
Yeah, no way.
See, the thing is, our expectations, that's whatever. It's just, we can't... I actually have this quote later on.
Okay.
So I'll get to that. But I'll continue on to the next one.
Cool.
Meso. The bet I make is that it's going to be retelling what we've already seen in the animations. Me. Well, yeah, of course it's going to be. Meso. But it's not going to tread any new ground. Me. I absolutely don't agree, and that it's not going to tread any new ground. Obviously, it's going to repeat what we saw in the animations, But this is a 200-page book. We're going to get more than just that. And then a conversation with Kai happened, and that was completely derailed, that whole thing. But
of course.
I sunk myself with that one comment about it's not going to tread any new ground.
You absolutely
I could have had a leg to stand on if I didn't say that.
See, you could have, but it's just like, yeah, like, we've got 200 pages, well, 180, but there is no way we're going to introduce the exact same story we got in the animations without bringing something new to the table.
Yeah.
It's just not possible. Anyway, next quote. Meso. In BIONICLE 2015, we're getting characters, not getting location building. Me. We haven't seen the book yet. We don't know. Meso. The book is not going to do that. Me. You keep saying that, but you haven't read the book, Meso. Meso. I know, with absolute certainty, if the books are not going to give us landmarks of Okoto, names of the protectors, insight on the villages, and experiences that go beyond getting their golden mask, if at least 2 of those 4 things happen, I'll consider it a success. Me. I don't disagree that there might be potential that it won't have any of that. But you can't say that it won't until you've read the book. I think that's the most important quote that I made. Because that's the whole point of the argument, is that there are plenty of things that could happen. Our expectations could be right. We can expect that the book might not have everything we want it to have. We can guesstimate that it won't have world building, that it won't have character names. But the issue I had was that too many people, Meso included, were saying that it won't, as if they already knew. And that was incredibly frustrating, because no one has read the book. No one knows behind the scenes what's going on behind LEGO, what they're doing for BIONICLE, what their plans are for BIONICLE, how in-depth the story Bible is, or any of this. We know there's a story Bible. We know they've thought this out. So there's no reason to believe that we're not going to be getting any of this stuff until we actually get it.
I think the thing that's tripped up a lot of people, myself included, is because this kind of multi-tiered storytelling system, it's a double-edged sword. It's good for new people, and it's bad for older fans. Because it's a new thing, we're not used to it, so making conclusions about BIONICLE's story based on what we've seen of BIONICLE's story isn't really a foreign concept to a lot of people. We're not used to having one form of media not tell a story as well as the other. The comics told the story, I would argue, just as well as the book. For OG1, just in different ways. It was more visual oriented. The animations, same way, but a lot less story content. So people need to learn, myself included, how to check their expectations now that we know, okay, the animations, they're great, they're enjoyable, and I love them, but they're not really for us, per se.
Oh my god, that's what I've been saying.
The books are for us, yes.
Thank you!
I'm now...
Realizations!
I am fully on that side. Now that
friggin' epiphany
the content of the books.
I can't believe this is what I have been saying since day one.
However,
oh no, don't do this.
It does beg to be said. I said if 2 out of 4 of those things are true, then the books are considered a success, and they are a success because 2 out of 4 of those things were said.
What 2 things?
The names for the protectors and experiences that go beyond getting their golden masks.
How are the other 2 things not met?
Well, first of all, what I was saying in the last episode, that idea of mine that nobody cared to listen to, that was exactly what they ended up doing. They had a prologue sequence, and then they retold the entire first wave, just like I said they would. And then they had the summer wave, which I didn't really expect. And I don't think anybody did.
I didn't. No one expected that.
They didn't go to the villages, from what we've seen. Obviously, we haven't seen the entire book, but like from the preview we read, they went to a outpost fortification that was not part of the actual village.
This is my thing with you, Meso, because you tried to change your initial statement. You try to like add extra detail to make it so that your statement now means something else than what you said. What you said is that what it needs is insight on the village. You didn't say they had to go to the village. We needed insight on the village. That is insight on the village. We know that there are now outposts. that belong to the villages. We know that there are now multiple villages per region. We know exactly what the defenses are like.
We were never told specifically.
I mean, do you really think the entire village of Jungle has been destroyed?
No, I don't. I don't think that at all. But it could be. Who knows?
Okay,
the entire water village was destroyed in Barra Magna, and I know nobody cared about Barra Magna, but it's not exactly, an unprecedented concept.
Yeah, but it's not like Nilku's reaction to that was, what? The Jungle Village has been destroyed? Oh my god, that's awful! It's just like, okay, another village has been destroyed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry that it happened. It seems like a common occurrence.
On one hand, you could say, maybe that's a flaw. Maybe Ryder Wyndham did not articulate his turmoil very well.
I really think
but the logical person...
I think you're grasping a little bit, but
the logical person can make a claim that, okay, well, we can infer based upon this logic that such and such and such, but we were not told that explicitly.
Yeah, and I
can infer a lot of stuff from BIONICLE 2015.
You're missing the point. You're moving to something else now.
Okay, go back.
I've already said that you're right about that. Yes, okay. You can infer that. This is all inferring. But what the point is that you wanted insight on the villages. We got that.
I do not feel we got that.
How? How is that not insight on the village?
I don't know a thing about Okotian culture, about what their villages look like, about
that
how
is
they
not
operate,
what you said,
about
though.
Any of the jobs that people have there,
Meso,
about their currency, about their trading.
Your claim is that we want insight on the village. Whether you see this as a lot of insight or not doesn't matter. This is insight on the village in the first 20 pages.
I do not personally. When I was talking about insight, if you guys think that's what I meant, that's cool. I did not mean let's infer a statement and let's see that there's a fort somewhere. That's not what I was referring to by insight.
Did you want it on the villages or the culture? They're completely different things.
If it is, that's cool. That's not what I was referring to.
How is that not part of the culture? That they have outposts surrounding their villages and that we know what their defenses are like? That's part of what life is like in Okoto. That's part of the culture. Just because it's not a lot of information doesn't mean that's not insight on the villages. It's not good enough for you, Meso. Sure. That doesn't mean it's not there.
That's not what I was referring to. I did not specify that point properly in the episode, so that's bad on me. If you want to count that as a falsehood, that's cool. No arguments from me. But that's not what I was personally referring to when I said insight onto the villages. And then the other thing... What was the other thing?
That's still insight. Anyway, the other thing was that you wanted landmarks. The Temple of Time is a landmark.
Already knew about it. Doesn't count.
Doesn't matter if we already knew about it or not. You said you wanted a landmark on the island of Okoto. The Temple of Time is a landmark, and it's not in the city like we initially thought.
Nope.
So now we know it's not in the city. Now we have a general idea of where it could be.
People deduced exactly where it was before on the message boards, and they were
cool
right on the money.
That's cool and all, but that doesn't negate the fact that we have a landmark.
Using the visual media that already gave the Temple of Time to us back in, January. Obviously, when I was talking about landmarks, I wasn't referring to
everything.
I wasn't referring to the one landmark we already had.
You made your statement, and now it's in the book, and now you're trying to discount it as if it doesn't exist.
No, listen.
May I have some input real quick?
Sure, LJ, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. I'd like to read a brief excerpt from this book. Days later, in a fortress village of the Stone Protector in the region of Stone.
Oh.
A. Now, unless I'm mistaken, A does not exclusively describe a singular entity.
Truth.
Yeah, it should have been
the village. That actually, we can infer two things from this. First of all, there are more than one. And two, there are more types.
But LJ, what you're doing is you're inferring information from this. It's not. It wasn't explicitly stated.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
you say it mockingly, but exactly.
Yeah, we're not all children.
I could infer that before from the other line. That's extra evidence, sure, but it's still not what I was predicting we would get.
The evidence is building up. I'll put it that way.
Correct.
I don't understand this argument.
There's more evidence for it than there is against it.
I don't see what the rocket science is to understand. I'm not saying that there isn't a bunch of villages. I'm just saying that was not properly communicated, and we did not get enough insight into it.
That's fine, but that's not what your original statement was. You are now once again saying something else.
I already admitted
say.
that I may not have properly disclosed everything that I was thinking.
Okay, well,
that's my bad.
I don't care about.
Good job.
You need to calm down.
You're slipping, Var.
I don't care about what else you have to say. This is an argument based on what your initial statement was, and that you were wrong in that episode when you explicitly stated this information, which I directly quoted from that episode in this current episode, and have now disputed.
I already admitted like 3 minutes ago that was the deal. I'm just arguing based on a perspective of what I actually think, not what I said. What I said was limited and short-sighted and did not properly encompass all the different possibilities that we could get.
There's a saying, and it goes like this: if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging.
Never. Never, ever. Because I represent a legitimate viewpoint that many people share, and I will fight for that viewpoint to be heard.
You will
forever.
fight for stupidity.
Nope. Listen, we got, in terms of the landmark, the Temple of Time that we got one landmark, which we already knew about. It was the first thing that got shown off. Obviously, when I was talking about landmarks, that's not what I was referring to.
Alright, hang on, let's make
I don't think anybody can disagree with that.
Obviously.
Not obviously. You said a landmark.
Listen, I don't think what's difficult to understand about this when I'm referring to landmarks. When I'm referring to landmarks being shown in the book, do you think I'm talking about the landmark that's already been shown, or do you think I'm talking about new landmarks?
Well, since you didn't explicitly specify,
like when people complain about Okoto not having enough landmarks, they obviously mean.
We can't just infer this information from your mind. You have to explicitly say it.
I think I was pretty clear.
You didn't properly communicate it.
I think I properly communicated it just fine.
You didn't, clearly.
I think I did. I bet the fans knew what I was talking about.
This is going nowhere fast.
Like when people complain about Okoto not having enough landmarks, they don't say, we've got the Temple of Time and we've got the ancient city, so that's enough. They mean we need stuff like volcanoes and mountains and ridges and rivers and stuff.
You could have seen all that on the map, so it was already there, we already knew about it. Discounted. Let's move on.
Wonderful.
Wow. That was impressive.
I was half wrong and half right.
Good guy,
That is my final statement. I admitted my wrongs on the things that I was wrong about, and I continue to defend the things that I was right about.
Even when you're wrong.
Well, it also begs to be said.
You weren't right about that.
I gotta make a disclaimer though. Everything we're arguing is from a little snippet. We have not actually seen the remainder of the book. There could very well be more landmarks that we have not seen.
See, that was also part of my argument. It's just like, this is only the first 20 pages, and we've already gotten everything you wanted. Even if it wasn't exactly as much as you wanted.
Half as much.
It wasn't, dude.
So if when we read the book, there are more,
of whether you think it is or not.
If we get more landmarks, then you will see me admitting my wrongs in another episode. But I maintain my statement.
Fans, just a disclaimer: even when Meso's right, he's wrong, and even when he's wrong, he's right. Never forget that.
In Meso's world, yeah.
Hey man, opinions are multifaceted.
I just like to make everything
I've never been a fan of blanket
statements. Meso is always wrong.
But then.
See, you said opinions, Meso, but it's not like you're presenting it as opinions. Your initial claims were made with absolute certainty, quote-unquote direct quote, as if they were fact.
Is that a shirt now, by the way? Absolutely. Like a parody of that Uncle Sam poster. I want you.
Dibs.
This entire conversation would be completely different if you had actually presented your argument as an opinion.
Correct.
You know, with absolute
speculation.
It all dials back to the falsehood that fans like me have been operating under since BIONICLE came back, where we have to judge the entire line off the media we've been presented with. We now, and this could be argued whether it's a good or a bad thing, but it just is how it is, we have to dial our opinions back a little bit in terms of certain aspects of media. We have to set expectations for the animations, set expectations for the books, and then there's the graphic novels, and who knows what that's going to have.
Apparently
Nobody knows.
You do.
But Yeah, this isn't like G1, where we can say
Meso,
this story is
what's
good
gonna
or
be
bad.
in the graphic novels.
Only tell us the things you know with absolute certainty.
Even in G1 we couldn't say that.
I don't know, I think in G1 it'd be... I don't think anybody would say it was crazy to say the story is good or bad after a couple comics come out. I don't think that was a ridiculous thing.
I think we're done. Before we
It sounded like Meso finally used the words "I think."
I did.
Which
we know.
And there was laughter, but I think that's perfectly true. In Bionicle, there were 5 comics a year.
Meso, as long as you say "I think" instead of "I know," then we won't have an issue.
There were 6 comics. Every other month, 12 months out of the year. Do you
but I'm saying,
math?
The comics tell a story. The comics and the books were the 2 main sources of story media we got in G1. I don't think if a fan said, I've read the comics, I don't think the story's all that great. I don't think anybody would have said they were wrong. But because I said, and obviously I know, I said it with absolute certainty, and I didn't say I think, but I said the animations were not all that great, so the story's not all that good. It was, well, we've only seen half the year, and there's still books, and there's still graphic novels that could save it. But it's like, I think the animation should have been on the same caliber. But that's because I'm thinking with the G1 mindset. The animations are not for me.
But you're also ready to condemn the entire line because of one aspect of it.
That I was.
And that's what I have issue with.
And that was very wrong.
Yeah. I mean,
because
it's one thing to think, okay, the animations aren't conveying a good story. That's fine. You could say, okay, I don't think the comics are really conveying a great story. Like, you can get the first 2 issues and be like, it's not really doing a good job wrapping me in. That's one thing. But saying the story for 2001 was really bad after only reading 2 comics, that's not a correct statement to make.
Yeah.
That's wrong. That's incorrect. You don't have enough information to make that conclusion.
It's all about
You can say the comics were bad, but even then I would argue that you should at least,
check your expectations. That's what it all boils down to. That's the moral we can all learn and agree on from this episode. Check your expectations.
Well,
okay, let's be real, though. We couldn't really have expectations for the first generation because we had nothing before to go off of.
Well, again, that's what I'm saying.
We had Slicers.
Stuff. Yeah. Bionicle made its own expectations.
That's like comparing the Lego movie to the Duplo show.
I mean, Bionicle was an original IP. Of course, we didn't have anything to go off of. It made its own expectations.
Well, here. Basically, to sum it all up, Meso has admitted that he was wrong in some aspects. He defends his own aspects in other aspects. And in certain aspects, this is a really good book, and in other certain aspects, people shouldn't torrent it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think, we've properly communicated this, but the book's good stuff. Like, whoever hasn't read the preview, go read, the preview.
Yeah, it's good.
You have.
It is really good.
It's good. The writing is, everybody thought it was going to be dumbed down, and, in some areas, the dialogue, I can kind of see how he's writing to a younger audience, but the actual book itself is very well done.
Yeah, I was afraid that it was going to be, really, really, toddler-inspired or something, where it's just, Tahu
juvenile?
went... Yeah, very juvenile. Tahu went to the village.
See, Tahu, run.
The village was
Tahu,
really hot. The protector of fire talked to Tahu. They ran out of the village as skull spiders came. The protector led Tahu to the mountain.
Protector's too big a
At
word.
the mountain, there is a golden mask. Tahu grabbed the golden mask. I was afraid that the book was going to be like that.
You were thinking it was going to be like a picture book.
Yeah.
It's just sort of, but I mean, obviously it would be a little bit more in-depth than what I just gave.
Yeah. The worst case scenario was that the dialogue was going to be just really boil it down to the simplest of details. But no, there's a lot of detail, there's a lot of exposition. We may not get a lot of landmarks, but we do get a lot of insight into what the people are going through. And we even learn how Lost does his thing, in the preview.
Do we get insight? I thought we didn't get insight myself.
Not into their cultures, but into their thought processes.
That is part of the culture.
Don't do this.
Yeah, okay.
Guys, come on. We've moved past.
Okay, buddy.
We are beyond this.
That is part of the culture.
Var, restraint.
All right, fine.
So
Okay,
let's talk about
I'm praising you. Get off my back. We even learned how Lost
I know, but you're
does
praising nothing.
No.
We learned that, I'm not sure how accurate this is, but and this was in the section of the preview that I think everybody has, except for Var, who didn't get it, so it's not like spoilers. But when Lost steals a person's mask, he gains control of them.
I don't think that's it at all. We still know about as much as we knew before. All we know is that Skull Spider equal not the right mind.
I mean, it's a direct quote that you may not have read, but they did say when he steals your mask, he gains control of you.
Although, really, we don't know that. The characters are... the characters are inferring that.
True. It says, when he gains an Islander's mask, he also gains control of the Islander. Many Islanders have been lost to us, and the evil is rising.
Oh, here we go. But yeah, no. Let's not count that as factually sound.
I don't know. He literally did say that they are controlled.
I know, but do they know how that happens? Like, we know that the Lord of Skull Spiders has a gold mask of Skull Spiders, but do they
we're not gonna get into, what the characters think. I'm talking about, the information that the writer has presented to us.
Yeah, the information Lord of Skull Spiders can control the villagers. That's much we do know.
Yeah. If we're gonna get into, things of, is the writer lying to the audience for the purpose of in-character storytelling, that's a whole other thing. And that's, honestly more advanced than I think that this book is going for right now.
Agree.
I think the info it's giving us should be taken as fact.
Okay, alright.
Until shown otherwise.
Well, let's see.
What else was there?
There was only the language, the alphabet, that we are not sure whether or not it's an alphabet.
That's another thing. I'm sure it's an alphabet.
There is another discussion that we didn't really get into.
Oh?
That's completely separate from this.
So?
The animations. The trailer for the animations.
Well,
the artwork is a little questionable.
I think we should... Well, we already brought up the alphabet, so let's go ahead and talk about that.
It's an alphabet.
Right,
I for sure didn't expect us to get an alphabet. We may not have gotten everything I wanted, but we got an alphabet, so that kind of mitigates things.
Which counts as culture.
Yeah, that does. Culture. That counts as culture.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
What would he do, Var? Remember on the message book?
Technically, it may not have been technically it's in the book, it's in the top of the pages. I'll go back and amend what I said. 3 out of 4.
Oh my gosh!
I don't think you know what culture means.
I really don't think he does.
Yeah, the only culture Meso knows is, in bread.
Cottage cheese.
Culture is the way of life of a group of people, the behaviors, beliefs, values, and symbols that they accept. So we didn't learn about their values.
We know they have symbols. We know that they believe the Toa will save them.
Behaviors can be argued. That's about the only one.
We know that a bunch of them are a bunch of chump punks that get taken over by a bunch of tiny spiders.
Yeah, exactly. If their behaviors count as fighting when under attack, then we learned something about it.
Oh, well, gee, they fight when under attack. I'm sorry, I didn't realize they weren't
I just don't see how their defenses and their outpost and how they've structured their villages are not culture.
Yeah, I'm just talking about what I expected. That's good stuff. That is true.
Which is part of their behavior.
No, maybe one of the tribes may be. We don't know.
I'm arguing against myself now that they use spears. They have descriptions of stuff.
You want to keep going?
This just makes me think that you just don't fully think out any of your arguments.
I gotta speak in the moment, and then I later say I didn't say enough.
That's exactly what you do.
Which is why I'm in this mess to begin with. But no, alphabet, it's good.
Before we dig the hole again. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I noticed on the back of the Skull Scorpio mask, I believe that says copyright 2014 Lego.
Well, yeah, all masks are designed before the release. They're made and produced and designed and copyrighted the year prior to their release. Any Bionicle set, any new mold that you will find from New Bionicle will say year prior.
Yeah, remember, these sets were already, finalized before they came out.
Yeah.
We got the leaks in 2014.
I don't know, it's just really interesting to think about, especially with these transparent masks.
Oh, yeah, heck yeah. In fact, I'm not certain about this, but I'm fairly confident that if you go look on the clear maskifier from New York Comic Con, it will say 2013.
Oh,
However,
wow.
I can't verify that right now.
That'd be pretty
I'll go
crazy.
check that in a bit, but
See that, Meso? That's a disclaimer.
Yeah, well done. You impressed
I guess
me.
that would be part of the mold, not actually like the
hypothetically,
mask,
yes.
right?
But real fast, before we jump into all this, the language. I don't know how to speak
I like it.
but there is a little bit of controversy surrounding it. A lot of people have really tried to decipher all the hieroglyphics on the mask creation, and they've noticed that the symbols on the mask creation are different from this alphabet to a fairly severe degree. However, this is a very consistent alphabet. There are 26 English letters that we can see. The X, I think it was the X and the Z, they're switched, and the A is at the end for some reason. But if you do compare them, they do hold up very nicely to our English alphabet.
I love it because it kind of looks similar to the English alphabet in some ways, so it's a bit easier to read.
So did G1.
Some of the letters, some of them were just ridiculous.
No, not really.
I think G1 did a fine job. I mean, the T was literally a T in a circle.
Yeah, it was obviously inspired by the English alphabet, but I don't think it was. I don't think it looked like the English alphabet.
Some things did.
Whereas most of these are direct.
Yeah.
Direct copies.
It is a little lame though that we get this alphabet, but it's really obvious that the language wasn't fully developed, or at least what we've gotten or what we've seen of the language so far isn't actual words. It's just gibberish.
Yeah.
This could mean two things. The more positive-minded, optimistic inclined people can be like, oh, well, maybe the language in the animations is like an older form of it, because this was generations and generations ago when all this happened with Akimu, and they had its tomb, and maybe the language has evolved, kind of like modern language has evolved.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And then the pessimistic people among us can say, well, Lego never planned to give us a language, they just put gibberish and random symbols, and then they later said, oh wait, maybe we should do something in terms of this, and they did something.
There's a third one. There's a third possibility. These aren't actually gibberish, they're just words and terms that we haven't gotten definitions for yet.
That's possible.
Oh, so it'd be kind of like some Asian language
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where certain words have their own characters.
What if the mask creation has that kind of thing? It is like a Okota version of a Japanese language.
See,
but when he made the mask, he didn't know the language, so he just put it on there, and he thought it's something really meaningful, but it actually is like toilet paper.
That really
like a lot of Americans do. They
yeah, or they get tattoos.
Yeah.
Like
in fact, they do that in Japan
this
too.
means hope, but really it's just insert bleep word here.
Yeah, it's like
that
down in the woods.
That really strengthens the whole idea that a lot of Okotian stuff is inspired by Japanese culture.
Yeah,
Okoto,
I'm kind of getting
Naruto.
that vibe a little bit. Naruto. I always say it in that kind of accent.
Oh, wow, that's offensive.
Sounds more like Aztec-y to me, but that's fine.
Also true.
I get it. Aztec, like technology.
Nice.
So anyway,
but yeah, no, that is a nice kind of way to look at it, though. There's just a bit of disconnect. The languages evolve, but in reality, let's be honest, it's probably that there's just it would take a lot of communication for the art department to know exactly what words to include and everything, and they'd have to think of all. I doubt they thought all that through before they made the designs.
Yeah, but either way, maybe now that it's a thing, maybe in the future, we will see
it might. In the future, it might get more.
Either way, it's a good thing. This Bionicle is finally starting to come into its own. We got everything, and I'm loving seeing positive reaction on the community. It's hey man, there's no shame.
Keep going.
I like it.
It's all
stuff.
You needed to do is wait a little bit.
Wait too long. Wait about 4 months too long. But yes,
man,
it's a thing.
I can't get over the fact that everyone complained how we didn't get names, and we got names. Now everyone's like, "Oh, these names are awful."
Yeah,
it's almost like the pterodax epidemic.
Yeah, it is. It is. It absolutely is.
People, you can make some people happy some of the time, and you can't make all the people happy all the time. I probably butchered that quote, but it's true.
That was absolutely butchered, but that's fine.
Yeah. But I know what you're trying to say. And yeah, you're right, Takuma. It is like the pterodax incident. So now, Windham is never going to give us names ever again. Thanks, community.
Nope.
We're never going to learn the Shadow 2's name.
The Shadow 2. They're like twins.
Wow.
They're conjoined twins.
They used
I will
to
say on
be.
the thing of names, it's like
Why the shattered one has 3 legs. There used to
Nice.
be a conjoined twin.
dun dun dun.
Exactly.
Real quick.
His twin was killed off in battle, so then he became the Shadowed One.
I'm pretty sure he just betrayed him.
This isn't a spoiler in the sense that like it's a plot spoiler. We already said it, but like spoiler alert: the summer wave is in the book.
Yeah, that
You know?
surprised me. Because, like, Meso
Everybody
was
knew that.
really hyping up the ending because we got different endings. And so he was showing Var over screen share, and he kept on going down, down, down. I was like, Meso, I don't think we got the same ending.
Yeah,
And so he goes
LJ
all
got
the
the
way
actual
down.
ending of the book.
Yeah, he goes all the way down, and he shows me his ending, and I'm like, Meso, we got 2 very different endings.
Yeah. So, like, spoiler alert: the summer wave's in the book, so you can infer from that Kulta's in the book, although he's not actually referred to as Kulta, at least in the
it is a little
pages we
odd.
saw.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
it's,
We don't know that for sure, because keep in mind,
No, we do not.
Skull Grinder is still a title. You call them... Most often you call people by their title, unless you're very familiar and comfortable with calling them by their name.
Truth, and I don't actually think we see the first time he appears in the book yet.
Correct.
Thankfully, so it's possible he says, "I am Kulta the Skull Grinder," and they just refer to him as Skull Grinder throughout. But if not,
Kulta, Skull Grinder.
I can picture that with his big chin too.
Speaking of chins,
Kulta.
okay,
yeah,
we gotta-
Kulta's chin.
so
Real
if
brief,
he's still listening to us, I got a bone to pick with Merlin Mann now.
What did he do?
You need to take your puns and go away with them, man. He
Oh, yeah, on
posted
Twitter, he
on
was
Twitter
like-
after the trailer got leaked, of course. Wait, no, I don't think it did get leaked, but after the trailer came out for season 2 of these animations, everyone was just ripping into it. Kulta's chin is so huge, and
No, the trailer did get leaked in a different language.
Okay,
like
that's what I
it
thought.
was released officially, but it wasn't the English one.
Alright, that's what I thought.
Just like the episodes.
So Merlin Mann, he goes to Twitter and he posts, "Don't worry, critics, chin up." Gosh, dang it.
He was like, to all you
dang it.
Kulta skeptics, chin up. Hashtag instant rim shot.
Oh my gosh. Gosh,
Good guy,
dang it.
Merlin Man. But no, I am excited to see the summer animations because there's some moments in the book that I really hope we get to see in visual media. It'd be cool stuff. So it's going to be good.
Yeah.
We don't know actually when they are going to come out yet, but presumably if all works out how it should, we should see episode 1 next month.
Yeah, I'm
when
going to
the
put my
sets are
money on
actually
August
out.
1st. Day of release for the summer wave in the States.
That would be a little too much to hope for, considering
I'm
the
not
track
hoping,
record.
I'm honestly just
Speculating?
hypothesizing, speculating, there we go. that's a better way to put
Inferring?
it.
Infer,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
There
I'm
we go.
inferring from what I believe Lego to do. So, and they are
Guys,
updating the site.
I'm happy.
Why?
Nice to meet you.
I'm glad that we got Bionicle back.
That's
Me
to talk
too.
about things.
Bionicle's really back.
Yeah, we just
Everything
spent like
else
the
was just a
past
soft
hour
launch.
and something minutes talking about it. Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's just good. It's good. I like it.
It's good stuff. No matter whether we agree or disagree, we can all be
No
happy.
matter whether some of us are more intelligent than others.
We can all be happy.
Hey, I know with absolute certainty that I'm smarter than Messanak.
I know with absolute certainty that we can all be happy.
I just think Meso isn't the brightest of the bunch.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's like the biggest way to disrespect
Mesonak?
Meso.
Ha, more
Yeah,
like
it's called
me so
Meso.
dumb.
Don't
Oh!
Get it? Because he's so dumb.
So, I guess since we're running a little late, we won't go too much into the animations themselves, but I know that I was a bit more critical over it than some of you guys.
I
I'm with
liked
you.
it.
I'm right there
I
with
really
you.
did.
Some of the animation was questionable.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I liked
so
it.
like I definitely have my concerns with not concerns. There's things I just didn't necessarily
Doubts?
like. Not even doubts. It's just like there's some certain aspects of the trailer I was like, I'm not a fan of that.
I mean, personally,
Hesitations.
I think Meso should look really forward to Easter next year, because based off of your description of Kulta, the Easter Bunny's gonna get a major makeover.
Lol. Yeah. His horns were kind of messed up,
Yeah.
but it is
Kinda?
what it is.
Okay,
Very.
yeah.
Mostly at face value stuff is all all subjective things.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about the mask for a good bit, or are we good here?
No, I think we should go ahead and end. We'll talk about it next week, maybe, if we have time.
Okay.
Yeah.
If any, or like if more new news doesn't come out.
Heck, unless next week we talk about the sets, because I swear they aren't out in the States. Full release in Europe, but any day now. Expect them in the States. Absolutely.
They will be showing up very soon.
Don't start. Do not do this.
Yeah, don't.
We can wait another week, and then the sets will definitely be out, because August 1st lands on a Saturday.
Oh, yeah, you're right, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Technically, the sets are already out in the U.S. We have limited reports of them being available in Legoland, California.
Yeah, but that's
incredibly limited. Yeah, so I mean, if you're around Legoland, California, you're in luck. Everywhere else, we haven't heard reports of them showing up just yet. But I mean, now's around the time to start looking. So
yeah. So okay, I think it's probably we should go ahead and wrap up this exciting Bionicle-filled episode of the TTV Podcast. Tune in next week where we'll talk about other stuff that isn't Bionicle, because we'll have no news.
Oh my gosh!
My gosh, that was so fast. Straight back into disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, skeptic realist Mike Kanohi mask.
I'm gonna ride the positivity wave for as long as I can. This is going good.
Yeah, okay. See you tomorrow, Meso.
Make sure to check out the TTV store at store.tvpodcast.com. Check out our new designs. Buy a shirt if you want a shirt. Everyone who's bought a shirt so far, thank you very much for supporting us. You will be receiving your shirt very, very soon.
Yep.
And yeah, be sure to subscribe to audible.com or audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choice.
Crap, you just reminded me.
Watch us on Vessel at vessel.com/the TTV channel.
If you're watching this on YouTube, episode 154 is over there right now.
Yep.
So with that being said, thank you very much for listening, and we will see you all next week for the next exciting episode of the TTV Podcast. I'm Messanek.
I'm Barteran.
I'm LJ.
I'm Venom.
I'm Tikumanduva.
And farewell, everybody.
Get a trademark on the Pressonac shirt.
Amazing.
That's great. Slow clap. I'd buy that shirt.
Depressolic.
I would burn that shirt.